let's go over the quotient rule for our exponents. So our steps are, step 1, to divide our coefficients. Remember, the coefficients are the big numbers. And after we do that, then we are going to subtract our exponents, which remember, these are our little numbers, the ones with the variables. So I'm going to go ahead and write this rule. So what you're going to see is you're going to see some variable raised to some power, some exponent, over or divided by same variable with a different number for the exponent. So what we do, what this is saying is you keep your same variable and you take top minus the bottom number for our exponents. So let's look at what that is. All right, our first step is to divide our coefficients, our big numbers. So 20 divided by 4 is 5. Let me write that out. 20 divided by 4, my pen is dying, equals 5. Okay, I'm just going to take this step by step so we can see. Then we have x to the 7th divided by x to the 3rd. So what our rule says is I'm going to keep that variable the same because they're both x's. And then I'm going to say 7 minus 3 up here. So our variable stays the same. 7 minus 3 is 4. So then we have 5x raised to the 4th power. And that's it. A little bit of division and some subtraction. Okay. Here's where it gets a little bit more difficult, maybe. We've got 16 divided by 24. That's going to be, we're going to be left with a fraction. So that in our answer, we're going to have 2 over 3. And then I've got multiple variables now. So I can only combine variables that are the exact same. So I can only combine this a to the 5th with this a to the 3rd. I can't do a to the 5th with b to the 2nd at all, okay? So I first have to, the second step, I have to do it twice. I have to do a 5 minus 3. So that's a squared. So in my answer, we're going to have a squared. And then I got to do it again for my b's. So I've got b 2 minus 2, b to the 0. Then our b's just go away. If whenever we're subtracting and we get a 0, then they just go away. So my answer is 2a squared over 3. All right, same steps. 32 divided by 4 equals 8. So in my answer, I'm going to have 8. I'm just taking this piece by piece, breaking it all out. This time we got 3 variables, so I'm going to do step 2 3 times. So first we've got x, and we've got 3 on top minus 1. Remember, if there's no number, it's an understood 1. So then I got x squared. So in my answer, I got x squared. Then I've got y on top 7, bottom 4. So 7 minus 4, so y to the 3rd. So in my answer, I've got y to the 3rd. And then I've got z on top. We've got 2, bottom 5. So we've got 2 minus 5. So that is z negative 3. Whenever I get a negative number like that, so it's very, 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 very important to remember to put the top number over the bottom number, regardless of which one is bigger. So when we have a negative number, then that means that it goes on the bottom. That's it, over and over and over. So I put this simple one here because I wanted to show you what we're really doing here. If you want to skip over this, you can. So x to the 3rd tells me I have 3 x's on top and 5 x's on the bottom. So each one of these would mark off 1. And then I'm left with 2x's on the bottom. So then that would be x 1 over x squared. So if you have more on the top and you have nothing left on the, if you have more on the bottom and nothing left on the top, then you still have to put that 1. Okay, so if I had done it this other way like we were doing, I would have done x3 minus 5, and that's x to the negative 2. Remember that negative means it goes on the bottom. So you can do all of this like this, where you draw out all of your variables and mark them off, or you can do the subtraction way. Either way works. All right, this example, we've got 6 divided by negative 15. That leaves me with a fraction of negative 2/5. And then we've got x1 minus 3. So that's x negative 2. So then I've got x squared on the bottom. And then we've got y. We got 2 on top and 1 on the bottom. So 2 minus 1 leaves me with y1. So that is a positive 1. So that stays on top. All right, this one's written out like this so that you can see it in a different format. So this is the same thing, x to the 6, y to the 4th, 3x squared, y, z to the 5th on the bottom. And we just do the same process. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So in my answer, we've got 3. We've got x 6 minus 2 equals x to the 4th. Then we have y, 4 minus 1, so that's y to the 3rd. And then we have z, we have 0, z's on top, so 0 minus 5 is z negative 5. So we've got z to the 5th that stays on the bottom. Oh, you cannot see that. All right, remember, divide the big numbers, subtract the little numbers.